Hey y'all, Van Lufa here, covering the Christian Bahena Rivera trial case in the murder of Mollie Tibbets from Brooklyn, Iowa. We are going to go ahead and cover day one of the trial, which was just this last Wednesday, May 19th. The judge first started out with the plea information and then gave the jury their usual instructions, as we see. State's witness number one that day was Blake Jack, who is the brother of Dalton Jack, and Dalton Jack was Mollie Tibbets' boyfriend at the time. Blake worked out of town a lot with his job. He was out of town for work, and so he had arrangements with Mollie to go to his home every day, twice a day, to let the dogs out to go to the bathroom and also to feed the dogs. He had two dogs that he kept in the basement while he was gone, and Mollie, went and took care of them. He basically was the one that called the police once he had gotten word that Mollie hadn't showed up for work, and kind of just started the ball rolling with everything. He was out of town at work. That was established. He had a solid alibi, so there were no issues with him. He just talked about the events that led up to it and the police showing up and all of that, all that kind of stuff. State's witness number two was Dalton Jack, who was Mollie's boyfriend at the time. He was also out of town working at a different town in Iowa. So, he had a good solid alibi too, but the defense really tried to tear this guy apart. This guy was not, relationship material with Mollie, I guess. He called Mollie the love of his life, but they went into... because obviously they seized his phone and went through all of his social media. And so Dalton had been cheating on her before her death. And Mollie had found out, and they were working on it and things. So, but the defense just really wanted to paint him in a bad light. Make him out to be this big cheater and that he didn't care about Mollie. Basically it's just a defense tactic to try and plant some reasonable doubt with the jury. That's all it is. So they really did do a smear campaign on him while he was on the stand. But you know what? He kept it all together. And, the important thing is he's got a solid alibi. He was not there. He didn't do it. So that's, the most important thing that plays into it here. State's witness number three was Deputy Matthew Simpson. He was a patrol deputy at the time. He worked on the night shift from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. And he was the person who took the original call, the missing person call from Blake Jack. He didn't really have a whole lot else to say other than just kind of how events unfolded that night. State's witness 4 was a gal by the name of Jelena Sheck. She worked at the daycare at the hospital and had been there for 10 years. And she was just there to basically say that she worked on the next day, on Thursday the 19th, just confirmed that Mollie didn't show up. That was really the only reason why she was there. State's witness number 5 was Christina Stewart. She is a hair salon owner in Brooklyn. She had been working there for about 15 years. She also knew Mollie Tibbets from, family and friend connections. It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. What she had to offer was that she drove by Mollie when she was driving out to the country to visit her parents that evening, which she did very often, and she drove by Mollie and when Mollie was out for a jog. And she knew who Mollie was, and she knew that Mollie was out running a lot. People saw her. It was a small town. That's basically it. She just was confirming that she saw her out on a jog that evening and where she saw her, which is important as well. State's witness number 6 that day was Arely Nunez Lorenza. And who she is a cousin to Mr. Rivera and owner of the black Chevy Malibu. And they just needed to show that precedence, that the car was in her name. She bought it. Mr. Rivera made monthly payments to her for the car. And they also just stressed that they needed her permission to search and seize the car, which she did. Of note, one of the reasons why she went ahead and got the car in her name and the loan and everything in her name is because Mr. Rivera was undocumented. So he is from Mexico and is undocumented. So that's why she did that. And that's really the base, the end of day one. Just, those 6 witnesses, not a whole heck of a lot to say yet, but they were all important in their own right. So that is day one. I'll come back later probably with day 2. I would love to get caught up on all 3 days today. So we will see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.